should be in the title of the video. Atheists tend to say that, love thy neighbor or treat people with empathy, or treat people well, be kind to your fellow man, is just, it's a moral imperative, or it's something that's good to do because it's good for the survival of our species. And they're really misunderstanding this, and the point is that they assume that the survival of our species is a good thing. So, yeah, it's good for the survival of our species, or we could say it in a better way, love thy neighbor is beneficial for the survival of our species, or crucial to the survival of our species, or helpful for the survival of our species. But to say that it's just good for the survival of our species, or just good for our species, or just good, is to assume that the survival and flourishing of our species is a good thing. And where do you get that information from? So let's just think of an example where an alien race, comes to Earth, and, we are 2% genetically different from chimpanzees. So what if a alien race that's 2% genetically different from us comes to Earth? Then, like, Stephen Hawking and our smartest and brightest would seem like, not even as smart as a 5-year-old to them. Our highest level of mathematics would seem like the way we treat, a macaroni sculpture. They would just, these humans wouldn't seem like, why would they possess, any kind of inherent human dignity or rights? Why wouldn't those aliens see us the way we see chimpanzees? Or they may see us the way we see rats. And they may see us as an infestation, as a pest. We're ruining this planet, we're running around everywhere, and, we're nasty, and they don't want us around, so they'll just try to exterminate us, because that's the way we treat rats, right? We just try to exterminate them. Rats are just always a problem. Get rid of rats, they just bring disease and just ruin everything, and they eat everything, stop all these rats. So why wouldn't an alien race that's more advanced than us, even 2% genetically, just see us as pests and rats? And that's the point. Why is it that the survival and flourishing of our species is a good thing? It's easy to say that we think that. I mean, I'm sure if you asked rats and they could talk back to you, they would think that survival and flourishing of rats is a good thing. But most of us are pretty sure, we see a rat, we're just going to put out a trap. We're just going to wholesale kill rats, as many as we can. I'm sure rats wouldn't be okay with, the way we just wholesale slaughter them and poison and traps and everything we do. They would have an idea that's not so good for the survival and flourishing of their species, would they? So maybe aliens could come to Earth and see us that way. So the question is, where do we get this notion that the survival and flourishing of our species is a good thing? We can't just say it's that way just because we say so. I'm sure rats would say something different, and aliens would say something different. So we have to have some sort of moral lawgiver, some sort of overseeing God to base this on. It's just the reality of the situation. You have to have a God, an overarching moral lawgiver, to define what is good and bad. Otherwise, it's just going to be, one species say so versus another species say so. And if they're sufficiently more advanced than the other species, they may see us as ants and not even understand why there should even be a thought about our rights. They may be worried about exterminating us just because their ecosystem's dependent, on us. But they wouldn't see us as having actual rights in and of ourselves. We don't worry about ant rights. We might be worried about ants, and all the things they do to help the environment, but we're not worried about their rights as ants, are we? So why wouldn't aliens see us that way if they're sufficiently more advanced than us? So this is the issue. There is no idea that survival and flourishing of our species is good. There is no basis of that idea. There is no grounding as a fact that it's good without a moral lawgiver. Otherwise, it's just, whatever race wants to make up whatever laws they want to make up. Anyway, and some of us would probably say, and it's the question that's posed by the Matrix, maybe humans really are a pest on this planet. Maybe it's better, that's what they had in the Matrix, right? The machines come along and they say humans are a disease, they're an infestation, they're a virus, they don't coexist with the environment, they destroy it, they rape it, they need to be exterminated. So Why is it that the survival and flourishing of our species is a good thing? You cannot derive that just by just saying so because you say so. Any species, if you ask them if they're able to respond to you, would probably say so about their species. But we don't think that about rats. We don't think that about ants. We don't think that about a lot of things. You know, maybe robots or aliens wouldn't think that about us. So we have to have some grounding other than just because you say so. So where are you going to get that grounding from? There is nowhere to get it without God, and I've covered that in other videos, but I just want to cover that in this one. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for your time. Check out my blog, removeconfusion.com, and check out my invention, Parallel Saw.